So yeah, let's talk about your platforms of governance. One of the perennial problems for Meycauayan is also the flooding. So how do you intend to solve that? Now that if you are given a chance to be mayor and vice mayor, you would have executive powers.
You go first?
Okay. Actually, Attorney Karen, of course, drainage system first. But how? Paano? Of course, pag naupo kami, of course, we need to learn. Kailangan namin, ano ba ang naka-plot na bawat lugar sa Meycauayan, kasi kailangan din talaga naming aralin. At the same time, mahirap ang flood control talaga.
Based on your coordination with national government agencies, wala bang flood control plan?
Actually, may ginagawa ang ating Gobernador Daniel Fernando, and it's very good for the whole lalawigan of Bulacan, Attorney, which is, we called it a water reservoir, which is dredging, kasi talaga ang nangyayari po, para sa kaalaman din po ng lahat ng mga Bulakeños, is even lahat po ng tubig, ulan, ay talagang doon talaga unang bumubuo sa kabundukan. And that's why ang ating lalawigan, ang ating provincial governor ay nagplan ng dredging for that, para sumapo sa tubig. And then at the same time, malesen ng pagbaha.
Okay, so you have something in mind in terms of having more effective flood control. And what can you offer your constituents in Meycauayan that you think has not yet been provided by the current administration, Consi Manny?
Right. Well, one of the biggest clamor that I've been hearing from people for the longest time is a hospital in Meycauayan. Actually, this was built during the time of my mom in 2016, and we properly turned over it when my mom's term ended. At the moment, the so-called hospital is only being utilized as a diagnostic center and a dialysis center.
What's the capacity of that hospital in terms of patient beds?
It's actually a tertiary hospital, so it's around 300 beds, Karen,
Okay.
Attorney Karen. Yeah, so it's really what we want to push for. And you know, unfortunately, yesterday I was at a wake, and when that certain family had to bring their mother to a hospital, they had to bring her to Pampanga, so which was so far away. And
paano pag emergency?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're talking about people that doesn't have a lot of means, and you know, there's around 60% to around 70% that are indigent. So
that's large.
Yeah.
So in terms of poverty rate, unemployment rate, are you aware of the statistics for Meycauayan?
Well, personally, I'm not really sure what it is right now.
Yeah.
But all I know is that every Tuesdays, during our People's Day, there's a lot of people that would go to our offices and ask for help when it comes to medical, burial, scholarship programs, even whatever that's needed, literally everything. So we want to change this, because people doesn't need to beg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the point that Mariposa made earlier, that you want to increase the social services. But then you also said that you don't want this to be an ayuda culture. So how do you reconcile the two? Anong concrete program can you think of that would provide the means for your constituents without having this dependency culture?
Of course, livelihood program. Marami yan, Attorney. We have infras, yes. We have infras, but the infras for how many years na stagnant na. Hindi siya nag-progress. Nag-build sila ng city hall, new city hall, but they said for encouraging investors, but it didn't work. It didn't work because of the flood. because of the traffic. And then, so we cannot attract
Yeah,
investors.
locators there, yeah.
Yeah, so we need at first ibabalik uli natin sa unang problema. That's why we don't have additional livelihood program for our kababayan. Because of that problem na until now hindi
So,
masolusyonan.
ayusin nyo yung infrastructure and flooding problem, and then livelihood.
Yes, a livelihood. So to pacify the indigent people.
Well, Mariposa, you were able to show us, like by example, that nakapag-aral ka and nakapaghanap buhay ka, even if your parents, as you said, galing nga kayo sa squatters area. So perhaps those are things that you can impart also to your constituents.
At ramdam
Kung paano
ko talaga.
gagawin yun.
Yes, at ramdam ko talaga.